Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Wills. I want to talk to you today about the industry and smartphone pricing. So there's several phones that come out every year. Some phone OEMs release stuff every 3 to 6 months. I'm currently using my Galaxy Note 8 because I love this phone. I've been rotating between the Galaxy Note 8 and the U12 Plus and the Asus Zenfone and this little new G3. Now you probably say, Jay, that's a lot of rotating. Well, what I'm doing is obviously the Note 8 is like probably the best of all of those when it comes to like a complete phone, but the pricing of phones is where I kind of draw the line. In this video is kind of come about. I was talking to Tech for Tablets on Twitter, and he was talking about his revenue on YouTube and how he pretty much lost. And then I was talking to Tony Pazzo in the comments of my Moto Z3 Play video, whether I should buy it or not. All these things sometimes trigger thoughts on the industry and videos. So talking about cell phone pricing, I don't think we'll ever be able to control the pricing of a cell phone. And I do have faith. I have faith that we can, we can make it happen. But as long as the powers that be are in charge, we won't ever be able to get a balanced playing field for cell phone pricing. Now take this phone right here. This phone originally came out at about $9+. Now, initially when I got this phone, I was like, there's no way it's worth that much. And no phone technically is worth more than about $400. But the industry, the OEMs, when I say the industry, the OEMs have to make money to pay their families, to employees, and they have to take care of themselves. So we understand there's going to be some profit gain. And there's a large margin in between the two. However, when it comes to just in excess overcharging, that's when I think about like Apple. And I know I have a lot of Apple products and I have a lot of Samsung products, but I also have a lot of smartphones that are less than $400 that are better in some way than all of my phones that cost more than that price. So the Galaxy Note, yeah, it's high in price, man. But if you can get this for $7 or less, totally worth it. Because when this phone drops down in price, it's blowing out nearly every other phone in more ways than one. Like other phones might have better front cameras or better battery or just little things here and there, but the Galaxy Note is offering a whole bunch if you can get it for $700 or less. And it goes on sale like that. They have the trade-in programs, a whole bunch of different things you can do to get the phone for that low price. But the Galaxy Note 9 is getting ready to drop, and do you honestly believe it's going to come out less than $900? Probably not. And the companies are releasing these incremental updates, only changing a few things here and there, and they're getting the same money all over again. Like when Apple releases the new iPhones, oh, they're not going to raise the price too much, maybe $100 of that, $50 of that, and then they're going to lower the current price, lower the price of the previous generation iPhones. People think that that's a good deal, and I've gone on record sometimes and said it's a good deal, but however, is it really a good deal? Is it really that great of a deal? We're still paying, or we're still accepting and settling for high-priced prices on phones. The industry tricked us into believing that we were getting out of contracts on cell phones. We're still in a contract, man. It doesn't matter if you're signing on the dotted line. They've got us to the point where we need our cell phones because this is where technology is going. This is where the world is going. This is definitely more reliable than a home phone. I had a home phone for a long time, and I still know people who have, quote unquote, a landline. I shouldn't say home phone, a landline. Some young people don't even know what a landline is. They're like, what is that? They have no clue because they're so connected. I try to step away and not be so connected at times and go do other stuff, Sometimes I wash my car. I wash the cars every day. Even if it's not going to be sunny out or something, I'll just do anything. I'll go for a walk. I'll read the Bible. I'll do something to not be so connected. Watch a movie, just anything to get away from social media. I think this is something that we all need to do. Do something else other than social media for a while. Spend time with your family, for goodness. You know, do something. But pricing, I don't think we'll ever be able to control that, because there's two sides to this thing. You got phones like this, like with a Snapdragon 845 inside, they cost $480. To me, this is way more premium than this phone. It's just what it is. This is way more premium than a lot of phones. But you have phones that are coming out. You've got the OnePlus 6 that's topping out. You know, today's July 11th, so the red one released today. And I'll get to that in a sec. I've already spoken about that, the colors, but it's still very agitating. But you've just got an imbalance here. It's almost like you've got the U.S., the United States, forcing certain phones upon us. Just two manufacturers, pretty much. If you walk into any cell phone store, they're going to tell you to buy a Samsung or an Apple. That's pretty much what they're going to try to force upon you. And they're going to tell you that those are the best. I can't tell you how many times I've walked into a cell phone store with something other than a Samsung or an Apple, and they were blown away. They were like, what is this? Is that an iPhone? No, every phone is not an iPhone. Is that a Samsung? No, every phone is not a Samsung. And it's not to say that Apple and Samsung don't produce great products, because fact is, I have them, so I know that they do. It's just that price. I don't know that we'll ever be able to control. And Motorola is now teetering on. And let's fast forward to Tony Pazzo. I was talking to him about the Moto Z3 Play. He bought it, and he loves it. You know, he says he likes it overall. And some other reviewers said that they really like it. And, you know, but I'm on the fence because I have this. I have this with several Moto mods. And this is the Moto Z2 Force. And there was a comment in there that said, you know, it would pretty much be a downgrade if you jump down to the Moto Z3 Play. And I understand why they're saying that, because even though this is a Snapdragon 835 in there, it's still a sweet process. The phone performs well, and I'm only getting the new 18:9 ratio. Pretty much that's what I'm getting. I'm not really getting anything different. I'm getting new things here and there, but is it really worth it? You know, to spend $450, $500 what they're asking. And Tony was like, you know, no, don't do that, man. Jump on Swappa. And he's right. I looked on Swappa, and you know, some of them are selling for $380. He got one for $350 on there. You know, it's just, you got to be at the right place at the right time. And I don't think that the Moto Z2 Force is it up. And I know that I should be talking about the Moto Z2 Play. The Moto Z2 Play, to me, I think probably is still a better device than the Moto Z3 Play when it comes to just overall looks and feel and everything. I'm not getting that much more to warrant me to go out and do it again. But I'm a reviewer, so sometimes, well, obviously, I buy a bunch of phones because I want to, you know, see what they're about. But when it comes to how the companies are doing the upgrades and what they're asking, that's when the customers lose if they continue to purchase every iteration of that phone. And the iPhone, Samsung and Apple have done great at marketing and convincing us, and I'll say us because even though if I wasn't a tech reviewer, I definitely would not be buying all these phones, man. When I wasn't into tech and my life was, tech is still kind of at the bottom of the table. It's just moved up a couple steps. But obviously now I'm getting all these electronics and stuff. You should see my office. I have two 25-inch monitors, 3 laptops, a 5K iMac, all these things, countless headphones, Bluetooth. I don't even know how many phones I have. But in the middle of all that, I still stay grounded with reality and say, you know what? I'm not going to focus on money with YouTube. I'm not going to do certain things with YouTube. I have to settle in. The only problem I have is I do get excited about all the new tech and I want to buy it. And the Z3 Play is a phone that I'm interested in. I just don't know. Well, a part of me knows that I shouldn't do it because, you know, it will only be for review. And I'm not getting rid of this phone. This phone only cost me $300. This is a Moto Z2 Force, folks. This phone cost me $300. And that's just a much better deal than the Moto Z3 Play. And I've said it before, if you want a good deal, buy last year's flagship. And honestly, that's pretty much on par. So pricing on phones, you get phones like this that come out and they're wanting top dollar pretty much for phones. Just because this phone looks great and it's the new, no pun intended, it's the new hotness. I've seen a lot of people say this is the new budget king. I don't think so. It's a great phone. It's not the budget king though. There's too many other phones out there that cost less, that are better and offer more and perform better. But how do we as consumers really grasp hold of reality, and how do we control the market for pricing? The easy answer is just don't buy what they're selling. Powerade break. Just don't buy what they're selling. However, if you got a place out there where companies are sending the same people everything over and over again, and these are the people that you're watching, they're programmed, they're trying to program you. I tell the people that watch me, you know, try not to don't follow me too much, you know, like don't take what I say as your decision to make something. Just because I'm saying it's good and it's great, I do tech reviews, so I'm gonna have access to things you might not have access to at better pricing. And some of the phones I can get them for a discount. Like some of the phones through GearBest, I might be able to get $50 or $100 off, but I still gotta buy it. I'm still coming out of pocket like $300, $400, $500 or whatever it is, whatever the difference is. So that still doesn't mean that I'm gonna promote something and say it's great all the time. But tech reviewers have to be taken as like you're window shopping, or you're just trying to get several different opinions on things. Now there are some reviewers that I watch, even though I'm a reviewer, I still watch other reviewers. I try to find channels that have less than 20,000 subs and don't have a lot of views on their videos. Almost every time I can get the truth. And I'm not saying that others are lying, but I can just get the truth when I'm shopping. Sometimes I even go back and like I'll buy something and then I'll get rid of it. I'll sell it after 6 months or a year, and then I'll think I want that again. I'll go back and see one of my old videos and how I felt about it back then. And I think, you know what, I probably shouldn't buy this again because I didn't really like this and I don't think that's changed. Maybe I'm crazy like that. But OnePlus was known as the flagship killers. Now they're just another company selling cell phones to me, because flagships are, it's going to take a lot to call something a flagship killer to me. I think I have a couple of flagship killers based on my standards. But I was pulling up the OnePlus website. They're all in stock and they're all shipping immediately. All the colors are available. Even the Silk White, they were like, oh, this is a limited run. It's all promotions and games just to try to get us to buy more from them. And if we continue to just purchase, you know, whatever they tell us to purchase, we will get played, and we will continue to be on the low end of the totem pole, just shopping and buying every phone that comes out. I was plugging up my camera battery. I have like 6 camera batteries. Camera battery hardly ever dies during the video, but it just dies, so I had to swap it out. But I have like several more ready to go. Anyway, I would say that, you know, OnePlus is a great example of what the industry thinks of us. And again, I'm not targeting OnePlus. The fact is, OnePlus has great phones. I'm not going to hate on them. I mean, I've said it before, I don't like their business practices. And some people have said, what don't you like about their business practices? I'm like, what do you mean? Aren't you paying attention to what they're doing? You know, they're releasing phones and then discontinuing them and moving on to the next one after about 3 months. That's a horrible business practice. You're leaving your customers high and dry. You're only willing to offer support for 3 months you're doing 3 months of sales or 3 to 6 months of sales. And then you're pretty much telling the customers, this is what you're going to buy next. It's just wrong. You shouldn't do that, man. Shouldn't do it, you know. But I would say, you know, as a consumer and a techie, I don't know that we'll ever be in charge of the industry's pricing. We're going to have to, it's going to take some serious, which if that were to happen, tech reviewers would have to go away. Because if you don't have anything to look at and influence you, you're probably not going to buy it. You're just going to be content with what you have. Like, how many Galaxy Note owners are going to actually go out and buy the Galaxy Note 9, even though you have the Galaxy Note 8 and it's perfectly functional? The reason you're going to do that is because they're going to tell you that your phone doesn't have this feature. Your phone doesn't have this feature. Your phone can't do this. This is the newness. And that's not just Samsung, that's every OEM. You know, they're going to convince you that, oh, if you can't do this, then your phone is old, even though your phone is less than a year old. You know, so I'm in a place where, you know, a part of me wants to just stop doing tech on YouTube, but I love tech anyway, so I'm thinking, you know, I might as well share. I really like doing videos for you guys, but I'm gonna tell you guys, man, I've told you guys plenty of times, if you don't need an upgrade, do not upgrade. I know it's hard because, like I said, they convince you that your model isn't good enough anymore, or you have to have this model. That's the trick, man. That's a great trick in marketing. If you've never been to college, take an economics class or take a marketing class. You'll be amazed at how you learn how the industry works when it comes to certain things. Thirsty, man. I worked out twice yesterday. I worked out before I went to bed. But yeah, man, pretty lengthy video. Just wanted to have a discussion about how we're getting shafted almost in this game, and there's really not much we can do about it besides each individual controlling how they're spending, how they're doing their spending. So what are you gonna do to stop these prices from increasing? And I think one company that's definitely is leveling out now, I'm gonna give props to. I think it's OnePlus. Their pricing is great for what they're bringing to the table, but I still think they're not bringing everything to the table that they could as far as features and options go. They can do more. All they're doing now is changing the design of their phones and pretty much the same thing. So the hype wears off really fast because there are I think the Asus line and the Xiaomi line are better options than the OnePlus, because, you know, OnePlus may have more RAM and stuff like that in some of their phones over Xiaomi and Asus, but overall, I personally like the Asus line of the later these couple of the ZenFone 5 and the ZenFone 5Z. I think those are better options than the OnePlus 6 would ever be, because the highest model of the ZenFone 5 still costs less than $500. And it's the same design, you know, so and same internals and everything, you know. I think that's a good look, man. But again, the OnePlus is a hot phone. I recently made a video letting you guys know I finally bought one, and then it got I don't want to get into that, but you'll see the videos on the OnePlus. In any event, man, how do you feel about the way the pricing is going with your cell phone plans and just all these things involving mobile? Because eventually they're trying to move us away from your satellite provider and all these things and get you to stream everything, which in turn you may not pay that high satellite bill or you know, cable bill, and you'll stream everything, but the money's going to come back on the bill that you have to pay for the internet services. So it's the same thing. It's nothing, you know, that's going to happen that you're going to save that much money. They're going to tell you you're saving a bunch of money, but you can rest assured you're not going to get all the features that you want without paying for it. So I don't know. It's your man Jay Will. Long discussion video for those that hung around. Chunk me a deuce in the comments. Let me know you hung around. And I like to do videos like this every now and then instead of just doing product reviews and stuff like that. I think it's a thing that we can't control, but honestly, I don't think we're all strong enough to do so yet. And I put me in there too, because I'm kind of a bad influence to a lot of people. They say, even though the phones I might push a lot cost like $200–300, still, if you start buying every $200 phone I tell you about, it's gonna add up. So there's UPS. Got to go get some packages. So he's getting ready to swing around. So I got some that's more review. Man. All right, folks. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.